this is how it was. I remember the KFC wasn't the KFC. I'm not the KFC. The chicken nugget wasn't so far. It was like easily accessible.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's becoming a habit to have weeknight tigs recordings. We don't know how long this habit will be kept, but for now it's working. It is employed. So we are back. It's your boys. You know who it is. Black and yellow, black and oh yeah, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know, should we go straight off the bat? Should we talk about our days? What do we do these days?
I think weekday tigs is talk about your day. How was your day?
Bro, my day.
Weekday tigs.
My day today was nothing short of amazing. I relaxed. I have been very unwell recently, since last week. There was a debate about whether I need to go to hospital or not. But God is good. I've been healed. I am feeling much better. I'm able to do this. One of the reasons we have to do weeknight takes is because I was too unwell to do it on the weekend when we usually record. So, yeah. Back
Still
up and
firing,
running.
guys. Clap music for my man. He's back. He's feeling
Back
like
up and running. Ooh.
If you hear my voice is different, the roles reverse now. The unwellness is trying to catch up with me. But no unwellness formed against me shall prosper, just like it didn't prosper with my bro here.
Oh, yeah.
We are here for you with takes, guys. What's the latest updates? We've introduced somebody who will be helping us. We won't say who at this point, who's going to be helping us, guys, to get more content out. So please be on the lookout for that.
But we do have another member to the family who will be handling our socials, our... Can we call it PR, public relations?
Yes.
All of that will be facilitating the booking of the guests that we have coming. We do have guests lined up, guys.
Yes.
So, yeah, we just wanted to inform you guys that...
Sorry, wait, I'm a bit uncomfortable. The camera is a little bit too much on me.
Oh, all right. See, in Tigs, we share the shine. Right?
Yeah.
We share the shine.
Right now, that's good.
Yeah. But, away. That out the way, I want to get into one of the topics for today. We might have lightly brushed over it in previous takes topics, but I wanted to really flesh it out. It's been on my mind a lot recently, and I'm sure a lot of guys have gone through it or have thought about it or even thinking about it. But my question is, what does it mean for you? For you personally, what does it mean to be a man?
Hey, bro, are we able to put pictures on the thing? Because there's a picture that today, somebody sent
Paint the picture for us with your words.
Yeah, so the picture it's like a whole lot of umbrellas, right? And the first umbrella, this was just today when I got this, actually when I was about to on my way here. The first umbrella has got, it's basically a family structure. So it's got, God first is the first umbrella, then the man, then the woman, and then the child. Now, on top of that, and like in between that, it's got what the roles of that thing is. So, for example, the man, now you ask me, what does it mean to be a man? In that picture, it's got there to provide, to protect, and to lead. Those are the type of things. And then woman's got to nurture, to teach, and, and then children to obey and to love your parents, like that.
Yeah.
So for me, I feel like that encompasses perfectly what it is to be a man in that sense. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of senses that we talk about when we say what it means to be a man, right? But in that sense, I feel like to be a man, because when they say what's the difference between a boy and a man now is when you take on those things fully with an understanding of, I'm a man now, responsibility for the family sits on your shoulders, because family is what makes you a man. You know what I mean? Bras don't make you a man. As a matter of fact, cherries that are in relationships with O's, they feel like bras still make you a boy. That's why you go out with your boys. You know what I mean? That's the reason why women and men fight a lot in that sense, because men are expecting men to be men and men meaning what you're asking me now, taking on the responsibility of a man, but we always rolling with the boys.
You mean women are expecting men to be men?
Yes, women are expecting men to be men, sorry.
Yeah.
And we always rolling with the boys everywhere. So yeah, that's where I'm going with this. I think being a man entails, and it doesn't matter whether you got kids or not, it's just family structure, taking responsibility, taking accountability for certain things, like to lead the family. You've got to have some sort of a direction, and there's a responsibility that comes with that, you know, to grow the home and stuff like that. So with that as well, you've got to be able to set certain, you know, footsteps that people can in the family can follow and stuff. Yeah, but it takes a lot to be a man.
What happens if that is not your current structure in life? What happens if you don't have a family, or not that you don't have a family, but you aren't the head of a family, you aren't going to be one, but you are still a man, an individual in this world, trying to figure out the ins and outs of what it is you're supposed to be doing?
Takes back to your question, what makes you a man? For me, it's hard to say this, right? But I don't want to be sounding like I'm biased to one way or another. But I think the challenges of what makes you a man comes from a family environment. However, to answer your question, if you're alone, it is possible for you to be a man, because some men do live alone. Again, there's different aspects and elements to that. But I think altogether, responsibility, accountability, and direction is what makes you a man. Because boys seek direction from men. You know what I mean? From father figures, from just men around. So if you've got direction and you've got responsibility and you've got accountability, so even if you're living on your own, bro, where you going? What's your plan? You know, the reason why some men are living on their own is because they've got that certain direction that they want to achieve first, and they know that having another person in their life will probably be a distraction to that, you know, disturbance to that. So they want to achieve their certain goals because they're responsible for themselves, and they're accountable for the things that they do in life. Or maybe they've had relationships before and they chose the wrong one, so it set them back a couple of steps, you know. So now they've decided to be single on purpose, so that they can focus on their ideas and whatever.
That's very good answers.
Away.
Actually, the better answers than I was expecting, to be honest. Not from you, not like I was expecting you to give bad answers, but I wasn't expecting that caliber of answer. It actually opens up a lot of questions as to why there seems to be a lack of men in this particular instance in today's society. What's stopping men from taking responsibility, being accountable, having direction?
Woman, bro.
Wait now.
Yeah, it is. It's woman.
Wait now.
No valid, bro.
Hey, you are giving such fire answers.
Valid, dog. It's woman, bro. Men are not stopping men from doing that. Men never stop men from... As a matter of fact, if you look back into... And I'm going to hit you with a solid bar right now. If you look back into history, men against men, they encourage men to be more of men. You know? If you watch Friday, right? When this old Craig was going to go and tell a Debo, he was looking to take the gun or whatever, and his buddy told him, son, if you're a man, put the gun down, put your fists up. Vide, Debo gave him a hiding. Debo gave him a hiding, he picks up a brick.
Yeah.
Now, the problem is with men, and I'm saying women, why? Not that it's women's fault, but women have, and I like to, this is just a theory that I use, guys. It's Beyonce, you know, this Beyonce mentality, who runs the world, girls. Before that, let me give you a solid now. Somebody I was talking to was telling me this, right? They were saying, why don't we have relationships like our parents and our grandparents? I said, because music determines our culture. If you listen to our grandparents and him, right? Our grandparents were listening to, what's this man's name? Nat King Cole and all of them. They only sang about love and how I love you and how I adore you. And that affected or impacted the culture of those times. That's why love was the main key thing. Not King Cole and the people that were singing back then. One talking about who run the world, girls, who run this, and all that. You know what I mean? I'm a survivor. I'm not gonna give up. I'm not gonna stop. You're gonna get a hiding. You know what I'm saying? That's the problem. Except whether we like to accept it or not. When Beyonce and all these other women started changing the tune, and it's not only Beyonce, it's also these O's like that are now, for example, right? You look at gangster rap.
Yeah.
When gangster rap was introduced, it also changed the landscape of men. Now you get more men going to jail. And Method Man has a show where he actually talks about that, where there was this letter that was written by these big executive heads to literally purposefully do this to the industry. So because they were opening up private prisons, right, in America. Before that thing happened there was only like maybe 2 or 300 private prisons. Now there's 1 or 1,500 private prisons in America, and their mandate was to fill those prisons up so that they can make money off the government from that day. So to wrap it up, those type of narratives that the people are pushing, where they're saying, let's tell women that women need to be equal to men and this and this and this. Now as a man, what they're also doing, they're supporting this thing of women-based violence and all that. I'm not saying I support women getting hit and stuff. What I'm trying to say is that's their way. They're trying to put women, as I told you, the umbrella is God, man, woman. They're trying to put it like this now, which that wasn't what we were created for. We moving away as a society from the original intent of what we were supposed to be created for as in terms of the structure, and that's what's causing the problem with regards to why men are not men anymore.
You said a whole lot. I agree with some of your points. I don't agree with all of them. There's a lot of them I do agree with. I do agree that narratives are being pushed. People are being influenced by...
Do you believe Beyonce is to blame?
Beyonce specifically? No. Reason being, Beyonce has very little impact on my life, and I'm a DJ.
But you're a man also.
I don't.
It would be a problem if Beyonce had a major impact on your life.
I'm not somebody who... I also feel like things like this have as much power as you give them in your life. If you're looking at terms of influential cultures. Now, a lot of people don't have the ability to discern for themselves what is healthy and unhealthy. And I'm not perfect in this myself. I'm not going to sit here and say I know everything that's healthy for me and unhealthy. But what I'm saying is, something like that narrative you're saying that Beyonce pushed, got a lot of people feeling a certain type of way. It's depicting a new culture of this type of equality. And I feel like industry-based equality, or the narrative that the industry is pushing, is actually a toxic equality. It's not true equality. Because true equality forms in understanding. The narrative that they are pushing is, you're not listening to us, we've been oppressed for too long. It's not, let's understand each other. It's sit down, shut up, now it's our time.
AKA feminism.
Could be called feminism. But there's also... It's hard to say this thing is wrong because it's being pushed and used as an agenda, I believe. But there are merits to... Well, there would have to be merits for it to work, for people to relate to it. And I can agree with a lot of the merits. I feel like women have been, or society has put women in a less than or underutilized role. I feel like they tell a man, go out and be all you can be, and they tell a woman, this is all you can be. So they let the man go discover what he can be, but they tell the woman the limits of what she can be. And I don't agree with that. I feel like everybody has brilliance in them. Everybody has. And I feel like that's where the equality sits.
Okay, what do you think a woman's role is then, bro? If
Role?
you're saying that... Because all of us here on the earth have a role to play. What do you think a woman's role is? If you're saying that women are being limited and then this is what you can be. In your opinion, what do you think a woman's role is?
In my opinion, or you're asking me what the Bible says?
In your opinion.
In my opinion, I believe I'm going to start off broad and I'm going to narrow it down.
All
Okay.
right.
So I'm going to say everybody has a different role to play. That much we know. Some women can't bear children. Some women can't, like, they won't be in a family. So obviously their role is not to be a biological mother. Like another woman who can bear children will be. But maybe that woman who can't bear children becomes a physicist. Maybe she loves science. Bro, there's so much that women have invented that's gone swept under the radar or men have taken credit for because it's embarrassing for society to say a woman came up with this. Or it was back then. So I feel a woman's role, naturally women are nurturing, but it's also situation dependent. Not everybody is put in a situation where they must nurture. Some women are in situations where they need to survive, where they need to kill just to survive, to escape. Some women go to the army. Maybe it's their role to protect men in that army. There are commanders and lieutenants in armies that have men under them, and it's their job to protect men, not nurture them, to keep them alive. So I think roles are specific to where you have been placed. And if you want to be spiritual, we can say naturally, from Genesis times, there was a role.
Right.
Yeah, but now we are in this world, and God places you where He needs you to be, and who you need to be in that situation, He will reveal to you. So I can't say what a woman's role is. One, I'm not a woman. I will never presume to have, and this is another thing I want to touch on. I never presume to understand fully what it's like to be a woman. They go through things that we can't imagine as men, just even biologically. But we don't bleed every month just for shits and giggles. We're bleeding. You know what I'm saying? So I would never presume to be or tell a woman what to be. But there's a
line now.
No, we have to also look at it in the reverse. This thing of women telling men how to be real men. No. No, we don't subscribe to that magazine.
But let me ask you this, like, do you not think a woman would know how a man should be a real man? Because the woman's role is to teach, right?
Yeah.
For example, if you're talking about Bible times, the man would go out and go and, provide, right?
Yeah.
So if the woman is at home and she has a son, who's teaching that son? If the woman's role is to teach. So she is teaching and passing out to be a man. What about...
No.
Okay, let's go to today's times,
Yeah.
right? What about... Nowadays, we have a lot of single mothers, right?
Yeah.
The fathers are not around for one reason or the other.
Yeah.
Who's teaching that son how to be a real man? I think when women leave that father and maybe they made a mistake choosing the wrong guy because he's on drugs or because he's
whatever the reason,
right? They are more invested and more determined to teach their son how to be a real man.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
But does that give them the license to tell another male how to be a man? Or do they just have the license to tell their son what kind of man they would be proud for him to grow up to be?
What's the difference?
Okay, I'm glad you... Thanks for asking that question.
Yeah, what's the difference?
In life, bro, as we keep saying, everybody's an individual. We experience different things. I feel like a lot of what women are projecting when they say be a man or be a real man is what they wish they had or what they wanted to see from men who have let them down. Now they see a similarity in maybe you or the next person, and they want to paint that error, they want to fix that error because they identify that I've been let down by this behavior before, not knowing that maybe I am presenting something that is deeper to me. I've been through my own things as a man. I myself am struggling to find out what it's like to be a man. I'm had to come to grips with my disappointments, letting others and myself down, taking accountability for my character flaws. All these things I'm suffering with. I'm fighting depression because I feel like I'm failing daily. I'm losing direction in life. I don't know where I'm going. All of that for women to tell me, hey, be a man. Just be a man. In fact, I challenge anybody to ask a woman who tells you to be a man, what does that mean?
They're going to tell you what they see on Days of Our Lives and Bold and the Beautiful.
You see what I'm saying?
Let me tell you why. Because in some cases, and this is what I strongly believe in, right? A lot of times we'll find that cherries either come from a home that's broken or a home that doesn't have one of the parents, mainly not the father. So now they see what they believe to be real men on the television screen. That's their idea growing up, you know, watching all these little things.
Or in music videos. Not only boys are influenced by these rap videos and all that. Women, young girls also looking at it like, hey, that's the man I want in my life. That's why they end up going for these dirty lighties.
Yeah,
but anyway, that's
pretty
another,
much.
Yeah.
And even if you say that, it's just because the actual male figure
is
missing, or the male figure that is there grew up watching music videos too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he's also
he
not
thinks,
too clued
yes,
up.
Because in his growing up, the male was missing.
But also, it is a trend because he could also not that he's not accountable, but he could also come from a broken understanding of how to do this thing. He's still struggling, even though he's big, he's still coming to terms with it. Yeah.
And when you go outside, all the old stewards tell you, say, there's a dog. Nobody is willing to show men how to be men anymore. You know, we're just trying to make it graph, bro. Let's just move on.
What's it called? It's called trauma bonding. All the O's is just trauma bonding.
All the O's are just trauma bonding. Yeah. And then a woman thinks that's the idea of a man, and that's why when she goes out, she chooses the wrong man at first. You check. Now, how do you fix that? You have to go back to the actual source. You know what I mean? If a tree is growing funny, you cut it right at where the problem was, and then you let it. You go as far back to where the actual problem was, and you cut it there, let it grow from there again. You know what I'm trying to say? Or sometimes you uproot that thing and you plant a brand new seed.
Yeah.
You know, so that's the problem with today's society. And the truth of the matter is, and this is not even biblical or scriptural or whatever, the truth of the matter is, we all come from one source. You know? So in order for us to find out what the proper way is, you will find that if you return to that source, it puts you back on the proper way. You know what I mean? That's the ultimate reality and the truth of the matter, bro.
I can agree. I like that tree analogy. But it doesn't have to be. You're right. You're not wrong in what you're saying. But we can also look at it on a smaller scale, because we're not just here to discuss it. I'm thinking of ways how we can. I mean, we're not just here to discuss what the problem is. We're also here to discuss potential solutions. As you said, the tree, you go back to where the tree is growing funny, you cut it there, give it a chance to grow right. That can be done on such a small scale in our lives, because we don't know if it's a stem or a branch when it's still small. Just like you don't know what the outcome of small things are going to be, but you can see that they're growing wrong. Cut them small. You don't know how wrong this thing can be. You don't know if it's just going to be a small branch or big big story later, for lack of a better word. So little things like behavioral traits, like for myself, I'll use an example. I haven't for a while. For a while, I gave up alcohol completely. As you can see, we don't even drink on Thanksgiving. This is apple juice, by the way. Now,
I feel like
I don't need to believe us.
We got to a point where every episode we have to explain.
Okay, we have to tell him what's in a. Yeah, we must.
What's in the cup? Next episode, we're not going to explain, we're going to make you all guess. What's in the cup? Comment section, tell us. Person who gets it right, I don't know. We can
and I'm not saying like we'll never drink on things again or anything like that. But what I'm saying is cutting behaviors where you see they're starting to grow wrong. So for a while, I gave up, stopped completely. Then, my biggest thing that I used to drink was beer. Beer to me was like juice. I would wake up. It was going to sound like I was an alcoholic. It's not that I was alcoholic. I'd wake up
as an alcoholic.
I'd wake up and assess my day and like, how important are the things I have to do today? Alright, it's Saturday morning. It's about 8:30, 9 in the morning. There's a cold one in the fridge. Like, you know what? I put the PlayStation on, grab the cold one, and I'm cooling off. And next thing I know, I look up, 3, 4, 5 cold ones are gone. Now I'm plotting to go to the bottle store. That time it's time to film Tiggs. What did we do before we film Tiggs? We go to Tops.
Tops is there first.
Yeah, so recognizing those patterns, because that doesn't just happen one day. that now carries on to when I work, when I DJ, I'm out drinking. There might be people who watch things who have seen me very drunk at gigs, doing my own thing, not being the best man that I can be. So to cut it at the stem, I realized it's not all alcohol. It's mainly the beer that was the issue for me. So it is, I'm not gonna make like everybody's struggle is the same. For me, it wasn't hard. I cut off all alcohol, and then I went on to like just like normal stuff. Like I'll have a shot of maybe like a whiskey and whatever I like maybe appetizer with it or whatever the option is. But it's not in excess. It's not excessive. It's very relaxed, very calm. You can talk, have a conversation, sip slow. The beer was going like water, one way. And that's also why I'm losing weight. Beer out there life. You lose weight, guys. Look at the shirt. The shirt's even big for another big shirt. But yeah, it's very crucial to identify even the small things in your life that you feel are growing away from the direction the tree should be growing, and cut it early before you have a big branch, because it's easy to clip a stem, but you have to get a bigger tool to cut a bigger branch. It's going to be harder to cut this thing off later if you don't cut it off now when you recognize the issue. And it's hard. And I think this pulls full circle back to one of the things it means to be a man. To recognize something like this and to make the proper adjustments for a positive and impactful change in your life going forward.
If you could be reborn and choose to be born as a woman, would you choose to?
No.
You'd still choose to be a man,
Yeah.
no matter whatever you went through, no matter whatever
Yeah.
hardships. Why, bro?
Like I said earlier, I can't understand what it's like to be a woman.
So why wouldn't you
Because-
choose to be one just so that you can get an understanding?
No, I'm not curious. I'm not curious to know what it's like to be a woman. To be honest, it's hard, bro, to be either. It's hard. And if I could be reborn, would I be reborn with the same experiences that I have?
Yeah.
I would definitely be reborn as a man. Because now I have a longer time to try and get a grasp of this thing. We're only here on this earth for limited.
But don't you think
time.
women have better advantages in life than men? Because think about it, right? If you are born a woman, and if you consider yourself to be a handsome means that if you're born a woman, you'd be a beautiful cherry.
So you mean
You know how much easier life would have been for you, bro? You literally don't have to do absolutely
Bro,
nothing.
there is a reason. You see, if you're the kind of woman that uses that to get ahead in life, and I'm not judging anybody, I'm just saying personally, I wouldn't want to be like that.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, like, remember we said if you could have all the things you have now, the person that you are now, you're not that type of person. The
Yeah.
person that you are now,
Yeah.
but you are born again just as a woman, a beautiful woman. Don't you think you would have better advantages in life, even if you are a genuine woman? Like,
I
Everything would be so
get
easy,
what
bro.
you're getting at.
you
But
would
it's not
never have
easy,
to pay
bro.
to get into the club ever.
I don't
you
pay
would
now.
never have to pay to get into VIP. But
I
you used
don't
to
pay
once
now.
upon a time.
Oh. I actually never paid to get into it. But yeah, I get your
Imagine
point.
if you
I
are a
get your point.
female DJ, bro.
I-
Ha, dog. Imagine, bro.
Hey.
I'm playing, bro.
But my point is this: I would still rather redo this life as a man with the knowledge that I know and try have a longer time to try this hard. That's what I'm saying. It'll be, bro, it's better to have all of that than be bad at both.
You would know what it's like to carry another human being in your womb.
I rather,
As a man, you
I rather
never
carry
know
that
what
human
that's
being in my
like, bro.
arms. It's alright. It's alright. It's
Let me
alright.
grab this toilet paper because right now, there's aircon in me.
Would you come back as a woman?
Absolutely not, bro.
Why not? You'd have so many advantages.
Absolutely not. Because number one, I'm not the handsomest, so I wouldn't be a pretty woman.
That's not for you to decide.
You know what I mean? No, I'm saying if you have to come back, exactly
Yeah.
like this. So I wouldn't have all those advantages. I'd have cruise. No, also want to cherry with cruise.
You sure?
Most O's, I don't know. I don't think I would have a good experience.
I'm
being a
sure
woman.
everybody has different tastes. There'll be someone who finds you beautiful,
Yeah, probably.
but he'll be broken. He won't have a cab. Would you still want him?
Hey, that's the thing. That's the thing, now, bro. That's the thing. But just imagine this, right? Imagine your life as you were, doing all the things that you did as a man that you're proud of, right?
Yeah.
From a man to man perspective. And then to be born a woman and have to still do and then, what your body count would have been. Would you be proud of yourself, bro? When you look back and be like, yo, I done so many O's as a champion. Would you be proud of yourself, bro? I wouldn't. If that's the case, I wouldn't want to become a woman, bro.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And that's the reason why, like, I think now as a man, and many men as well, when you have a daughter as a child now, hey, bro, changes a lot of things, because they say the sins of the parents fall on the children, and I wouldn't want my daughter to have to go do the things that I did in life and end up like that. Hell nah, bro.
But I think that's part of what being a man is, bro. Learning the lessons you've learned, as you are expressing now, and knowing the knowledge that you have to now depart upon your daughter. Because you wouldn't have known this unless you've experienced it. Because the fear of it comes from experiencing it. You know it firsthand. So it's the fear that gives you the knowledge of how to correct your behavioral traits in the next generation.
But they don't listen anyway, because we didn't listen. What do you think? That's the thing. Like, we didn't listen. Our parents told us this, you know what I mean? But we didn't listen. We still went and did our own thing. So now, what good will it do for us to teach our children that? Because they don't listen.
Bro,
our parents been telling us, go to church. We don't go to church, bro. Only when you get older, then you start saying, I need to go to church.
That's what I'm saying. There is, I think lessons from the parents are padding when we fall because of our own stupidity. So the lessons don't go before us, they catch us.
Boss.
See what I'm saying? I think the lessons don't go before us, they are instead there to catch us. Because we're going to learn on our own anyway, just like they learned. That's why they know what to tell us. You understand? So I feel like that's what the wisdom from our parents actually serves as. It's more to catch us when we fail at or when we fall doing our own thing. And then that knowledge catches us. This is why, I remember my mother, my father said, don't do this, this is now you fully understand the lesson. The knowledge is there to catch you when you fail. So yeah, I think
That's deep. That's deep.
I think that was a good note to end the episode on.
Yeah, 100%. I still wanted to say some other things, but perfect. Let's do a part 2 of this, yeah?
We can. I think we should actually get a woman to give us some insights on what it means to be a woman.
Yeah. You know what I think we should also do? We should do a live.